Okay, welcome back to Exploring Northern Ontario. You might remember the last time we were out, we collected all this ground up quartz from underneath that big quartz vein. And today, we're going to run it through the sluice box. So, before we begin, we're going to clean it. I want to clean all the organic material that's on it. So we're just going to be running all the tiny bits. And I'm wearing gloves because this quartz is so sharp, it'll slice your fingers to pieces. We're just going to keep dumping it on here, washing it down. Get those rocks nice and clean. And then we'll just dump our rocks out. Look how rusty that stuff is. A lot of that is iron, obviously, that's decomposed now into the soil. Still has to stratify just like a gold pan. Got to fall to the bottom. There it goes. Wow, there's a nice piece of pyrite. We'll get the rest of this cleaned up, and then I'll show you how I run it through my little portable sluice box. A lot of this fine gold, if there is any fine gold, wants to float sometimes. So of course I'm going to put a quick drop of dishwashing soap in the water, and that'll just make everything fall to the bottom. See how well that cleans when you twist it? Okay, so I'll put another drop of this soap in there just to make sure there isn't any gold floating in there. So we'll have to dump out most of this water. This is just excess water. But we'll pour it into the gold pan just in case there was a small piece of gold that'll be caught by the pan. Possibly. So that's what we're left with now. We're left with all the fine concentrated material which we're going to run through the sluice, and we left all those crushed quartz rocks which we can grind down later depending on the results of what we do right now. Okay, so I've got this, it's a river or creek sluice set up. It's not really designed for this, but I've played with it and I've got the water flowing about as good as I can, and I think it's going to do well to trap any gold that we have. Just going to let the water eat it. Slowly, slowly. And hopefully we're going to trap any gold that's in there. I've also got, at the end, a little safety pan, just in case my water's too fast. But I don't think it is. Might be able to speed that up a little bit. As you can see, some of the quartz is getting caught up in there, so I'm just going to adjust the flow with this rock. That's a little bit better. After all, it's designed to be running in a creek, so we just have to do everything by eye. Far from an ideal situation, but I think those mats in there are going to catch it. I'm also running the material through a little bit faster than I normally would because my source of water is going to run out. I'm running an 1100 gallon per minute pump, and it overtakes my little garden hose that's filling up my reservoir, which is my wheelbarrow. So I can only run for a few minutes. Let that run a little bit. Okay, that should be good. Let's stop it there. And now we'll have to do a clean out. Okay, as I thought, I was probably running that material too fast, so I had this little trap down here. And if I look in the trap, I can see there are little specks of gold everywhere, little tiny ones. Here. I'm going to have to get my other camera to show you. But, so hopefully there's more trapped along in the mats. So there was gold in that material. Now we'll just roll up those mats. See how I'm rinsing these mats out? And another drop of soap to make sure that that gold isn't floating anywhere, because we're dealing with such fine gold. There we go. Everything should now be in this pail, except for what's left in our little spillover tray. I'm going to pan that separately because I think there's quite a bit of gold in it. Just capturing all of my concentrates in the pan. Actually, I'm just taking the water out, and if there was anything else in here, I'm going to use the pan to make sure I don't lose it. Just pour it lightly over the riffles if there was anything in there. There was a little bit of material in there. Now I've got to pan all that down. Let's go over and use our bucket over here. Yep, there's gold in there, little tiny pieces. Very hard to see up in there amongst the black sands. Little dots, one there, one up there. Not sure you can see that or not. One there and one there. Okay, so the little catch tray I had here, I decided I'm going to run it through another mesh, because I noticed when I was panning it, I was having a hard time finding that very fine gold. It's really fine. just rinse off our little tray here. There we go. If we had any large gold, it'd be in here. Of course, I'll pan that in a moment. So there's that one that looks a bit like shaped like a moth almost. And then there's two more further up, right there. As well as many other little pieces, fine gold amongst the pyrites and heavies here. So I'm going to try to capture these pieces of gold here. Gotcha. And some of those fine ones in there. So now that I've sucked those into my snuffer bottle, if I keep going out, maybe in about 10 years I'll have enough to do a smelt. Or we're just going to have to find a richer location. So you can see, out of these rocks, out of all that quartz, there actually was some gold out there. But now we can see why there was no mine. So we're just going to have to keep looking. So stay tuned for some more of Exploring Northern Ontario.